Hi there, welcome back to our planner review series. My name is Megan Sumrell. I am a time management expert for women. And over the last several months, I have been reviewing tons of different planners, and they were all sent in by these requests were sent in by women in my community that either had a planner that they loved, one they'd heard of, and they wanted to get my take on whether this would be a good planner to use. Now, before I jump into the usual framework of doing the planner review, I will need to take a couple minutes and really explain the planner that I am going to be reviewing today, because it's the first one of its kind that I've done here on this series. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Artful Agenda planner, which is actually a piece of software. Okay, so I want to take a couple minutes and explain the three types of planners or planning tools that are available to you. So, first and foremost, which is what we have been reviewing so far to date, is paper planners. All right, so a paper planner is exactly what it sounds like. I'm just clearing my desk to pick mine up. It is a physical planner. I use the top planner. It's the planner that I built. I've already done a review on it. I was very honest. So that's a paper planner. Now, there are also digital planners out there in the world. And I too have taken my top planner and turned it into a digital planner. But there's a difference between a digital planner and software. All right. So a digital planner, in the way that I'm framing it, is when you've taken what typically was something in paper and then you've made it available to be downloaded onto a tablet and write on it with your pencil as basically like a piece of paper living on your tablet. Or if you're more tech savvy, it is just essentially an editable PDF file. That means it doesn't interact with any other of the apps or other tools that you may use. It's literally just taking your paper planner and tucking it into a tablet. All right. Now, Artful Agenda is neither one of these. It is a third category that truly is software or an app, meaning it is fully digital, but it does interact with other software, and it can be fully synced on the cloud, etc. So I just want to make sure you understand those three categories so that, as I'm going to be referring to it as software, you may have heard other people talk about digital planners, and some people may call Artful Agenda a digital planner, but it is not just an editable PDF, all right? It actually can integrate in with Google Calendar, iCal, etc., and we'll be diving into that. So let's go ahead and resume our usual flow of information here in our planner reviews. And we're going to kick things off by just talking about kind of the marketing around this. Who does this planner seem to be for? Who is Artful Agenda targeting? Are there size options, etc.? So when you go to the Artful Agenda website, and I've actually got a link here below for you that you can go check out to learn more about it as well, just based on a lot of the colors, the backstory behind the amazing founder of this company. It does definitely lean into targeting women for the planner. Again, because this is a piece of software, there are no size options and things like that, because it lives, digitally. It lives on your computer or on your phone or on your tablet. There is one and only one planner, meaning there are not layout options. So when you create your account with Artful Agenda, you get that planner. You're not going to be picking layout options. Now, that said, one of the cool things that they have in place is you can customize the cover of your planner. And we'll look at that in a minute when I share my screen and show you around Artful Agenda just a little bit. I would say another thing that the marketing definitely attracts is, I feel like it's bridging the gap between people who really, really love their paper planners, myself included, people who want to have them look and feel pretty, but also want all of the technology that comes with using a Google Calendar or an iCal, where you can share things with family members, where things can automatically update. And so for someone that's already very embedded in using an electronic calendar system, but they love the look and feel of paper and stickers and all of that, Artful Agenda is really targeting that particular user as well. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility than a Google Calendar, but it really is aesthetically pleasing. So that's kind of the background of, who this is designed for, who they're marketing to. And now let's go ahead and take a look around. All right, so I'm going to show you what comes with the planner. Now, Artful Agenda is definitely what I call a true planner, which when I give the definition of a planner, its purpose is to tell you what you should be doing and when you should be doing it. All right. And in a lot of my other planner reviews, there's been a lot of upfront information in the planner on goal setting and tracking and visioning and all that more strategic stuff. Artful Agenda is a true calendar planner, very similar to the top planner if you have checked out the review there. So there's only a couple key pages and layouts that we need to look at. So I'm going to introduce you to those, show you what they look like, and then we'll go back and take kind of a deeper dive into each of those. Now, before I jump in, because this is software, a lot of you guys watching are gonna get excited and you're gonna want this to be like a full demo of the software of the app. That's not what this is for. This is also not a tutorial. Artful Agenda comes jam-packed with all the tutorials that you need on how to use it, all right? This is just me reviewing the layout, key feature, functionality. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up Artful Agenda over here. So you'll see I have this running here on my desktop. So this can be you can run it through a browser on your desktop. You can also, I use a Mac, you can also download the app and have it running as an independent app, which is what you're seeing here. You can also download the app onto your tablet or your phone, and they can all talk to one another. So if you're out and about and want to pull up your phone for reference, you can do that. So you'll see there are 5 key tabs here inside of Artful Agenda. So over here on the left-hand side, you'll see there's a tab for lists. This is just a place where you can come in, you can create as many lists as you want and put stuff in there. All right, so that is what the lists are for. Now there also is this sticker option. So if you like colorfulness, I still love putting stickers on my paper planner. You're gonna love this feature. It comes loaded with a ton of free stickers, and there are also additional stickers that you can purchase. You can purchase sticker packs, but it's very easy. You can just come in here, you can find a sticker that you like, and you can just click and drag it onto either your monthly, weekly, or daily view. All right, so I just wanted to give you a little sneak peek here of the stickers. Then coming over here, you're seeing we have the monthly view. We can then click in and go to a weekly view. We'll take a deep dive on this view here in just a few minutes. And it also comes with a daily view. So that's it. Very easy for you to come in and get the lay of the land here, right? We've got months, weeks, days. You have kind of an external list. They don't integrate into your months, weeks, or days. And then we've got the sticker feature. All right, so let's go ahead now and take a deep dive into each one of these. All right, first we're going to take a deep dive in the monthly view. Now, before I do that, I want to make sure you understand, you're going to see a few things on my screen here when I share it. Now, in order for you to use Artful Agenda today, you need to have either an Apple ID or a Google account. All right, because Google Play versus Apple. So as long as you have one of those two, you can use the software. Now, it does fully integrate with your Google calendars, all right? But you don't have to use a Google Calendar. So you can just operate from your Artful Agenda and never have to log into Google Calendar. But that's ultimately where the data that you're entering is living, is actually inside of Google, not inside of Artful Agenda. So if you're someone that currently uses Google Calendar and you have multiple calendars, well, you can connect any and all of those calendars and have them all show up in Artful Agenda, just as you would on a Google Calendar. If everything I just said to you, you're like, I don't even know what she's talking about, don't worry about it. You don't have to integrate with anything if you don't want to, but you do need to have either that Apple ID or a Google account to get started. So over here on the monthly view, what you're seeing right now, again, it's dated because this is software. All right. So you're always going to have the current month over here. It comes with some nice quotes. I always love inspirational quotes as well. And then you can just toggle month to month. I'm clicking on the wrong screen. Sorry about that. You can toggle month to month and move around that way. All right, now you'll notice here that some things are different colors. It's because I have a few calendars integrated here right now, different Google calendars, and they're each one assigned their own color. We'll talk about some of the color coding pros and cons here in just a few minutes. But as far as a monthly view goes, this is just your standard monthly view. Now, what you're seeing right now, the data that's showing here, because I am connected to a Google Calendar, is it is pulling in, and this is important to know, every single appointment that you currently have on your Google Calendar will show up here. Now, you can come in and you can add a new appointment or an event. All right. So you can come in, you can give it a name. You do need to give it a date, a time range, and then you're going to pick which underlying calendar it's associated with. You can add descriptions in here. You can make it repeating, etc. So one kind of subtle difference with this monthly view and what you may be used to with a paper planner, right, is on a paper planner on the monthly view, you just can kind of go into the monthly view and maybe make a note like, oh, it's so-and-so's birthday, something like that, without giving it a specific time. But because this is software, you'll notice that we do that on the Google Calendar. Now, again, as I said, there's lots of little caveats and cool workarounds here, not workarounds, just additional features. You can, and I do this quite a bit on my iPad here, because I can pull up Artful Agenda on my iPad, I can use my Apple Pencil, which means I can choose to write directly on this view as just scribble, and it doesn't get categorized as an actual event with a specific time. Okay, so you can still do some writing with your pencil. And another great feature, you can opt to set up the ability for Artful Agenda with the Apple Pencil to turn your writing into text if you want to do that. So just know that it's an option, but anything that you set up in your Google Calendar is automatically going to show here. And that's going to be important for us to talk about when I'm kind of going through pros and cons with the planner. So that is everything, very basic, standard month at a view. They have space down here as well for you if you want to put in any monthly goals. So you can type those in here. You can see I can add goal 1, goal 2, and then you can check them off as you go. So that's it for the month at a view. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the weekly layout here of the Artful Agenda Planner. You guys know this is where I tend to spend the bulk of my time. I don't even do planner reviews for planners that only have daily views, because it goes against the foundations of how I teach time management for women. You need to have a week at a view. So Artful Agenda has this set up. Again, it's very similar to being on like a Google Calendar or iCal. So every day is in its own column, and then it has the full times over here, and you can scroll so that way you can get all, the entire day. That's different than paper, right? Most paper calendars will start at either 5 or 6 a.m. and end around 10 p.m. So here you have full bandwidth to capture every single minute of every single day as you scroll. So very standard, and always what I am looking for when I'm looking for a weekly planner is each day in a column with the actual times there. Now, you'll notice down here at the bottom, there are 2 little boxes and they have arrows. It means that we can open them up or we can collapse them down. All right, so you'll notice it has tasks. And then there's also a space for those of you that want to do meal planning, where you can come in here and jot down your meals for the day. Now, one thing that I want to mention about this that is really powerful is what you choose to label these 2 boxes is customizable. And I'll show you that in a minute. Now, also over here on the weekly view is this area just for goals that you can go ahead and add, similar to the monthly view. All right, so very standard weekly view. You can move from week to week by clicking up here and changing, to the following week, etc. And they also have the nice inspirational quotes every single week as well. Now, I mentioned that we can customize this down here, and I'm going to get to that when we look at the final tab here next. All right, so let's go in and take a look at the final view here in Artful Agenda, and it will also see where you can do some customizations on that weekly view. So the final view or setting that you can use here is a daily view. Now, if you've been following me for a while, I tend never to recommend planners that operate just from a daily view. Now, here's the subtle difference with Artful Agenda, because it operates the same as like a Google Calendar or any other calendaring software, is the data that lives on your daily views automatically shows up on your weekly view, automatically shows up on your monthly view, all right, when you are typing in and adding that information. So the fact that it has a daily view, you can choose to use it or you can choose not to. The data is going to be under there. So again, I won't jump ahead to my reviews of it, of whether I give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, but I think it's important to make a note of that because it is very different. If you have a paper planner that has a weekly view and all your daily views, you would need to be writing that information in multiple places, right? So here is what the daily view looks like. Again, because this is software, we can scroll and get the entire day right here. And then remember over here on our weekly view where we had those tasks and meals down here. Well, when I come over here, what you're going to see is this tasks, anything I write in here. So I'm going to put task 1 is going to show up in that particular day. So I'm currently on Tuesday, April 11th. So it's going to automatically show up here. Now, same thing with the meals. So maybe it is Taco Tuesday, which it often is at our house on a Tuesday. If I come back over here to my weekly view, you'll see I can see it there. Now, maybe you're not someone that wants to keep track of meals on your planner and you're like, man, I'd like to use that space for something else. Well, you can come up here, and because this little pencil icon is showing, you could choose to change this. So maybe you like to type down a daily affirmation or something like that. So you can change this. I just wanted to be able, and I misspelled that, but that's okay. And then if we come over here to my week, you'll see now, yes, there's a typo, but you can change this to customize this experience and use it for what you want. Same with tasks. You can change the name of this and use that space for something else. Now you will notice that these 3 blocks here, I have changed the name of these from what the default is. But there are these 3 blocks, this block here, this block down here, and the water over here do not show up on your weekly view. All right. So if you're wanting to leverage that and track it, you would have to click in and go to the daily view to do that. All right. So just be aware of that these 3 elements, this box, and then this box here, will not translate into your weekly view. All right. But anything that you enter here, if I come in and add an appointment and I just make this test appointment and save it, when I go back over to my weekly view, you will see, did I put that in on the right place? Hang on. Oh, I know what I did. I don't have that calendar currently shared. If I had my calendar shared, it would be showing up here. All right. So I just wanted, again, to kind of walk through what are all the things on the daily view, the weekly view, and your monthly view. So now I'm going to talk through a few more features of this and then talk about, do I recommend the planner or not? All right. You may have already guessed where I'm going with my review here of the Artful Agenda Planner. I think that this is a fantastic option for women that want to be fully digital, that do not want a paper planner, that are currently either using Google Calendar or just looking for a digital solution, whether you want to use Google Calendar or not, but you want to have the feel of a paper planner where you can add colors, you can still write on it, you can add stickers, and everything stays in sync with you. If you are someone that is sitting at a computer all day long, or you currently do a ton of work on a tablet and you're looking for a true digital solution to planning and managing your time, I would 100% tell you to run, don't walk, and start using Artful Agenda. I've got a link below for you to be able to do that. Now, if you are someone that has a paper planner, you love your paper planner, and you're not in front of a computer and you don't own a tablet, I would not recommend Artful Agenda, because if all you really have with you is your phone, I don't see the value add that you would get in using Artful Agenda instead of just like an existing calendaring app on your phone, if this is the only electronic way you're going to be using Artful Agenda. This is also in line with anybody who wants to go fully digital for their planning. You cannot run your life just from a screen size this big. All right. You've got to be able to see that week at a view that Artful Agenda has laid out, almost identical to the top planner. All right. So definitely, if you are looking for a fully electronic system, this is going to be great. You can link to multiple calendars, etc. Now, that said, here's one pitfall you may have if you are currently a full-on Google Calendar user. If you leverage the tasks element with Google, those do not sync. All of the appointments sync, but tasks currently do not. So please know that you may need to have a different solution for that. Now, if you're not using tasks on Google Calendar, then you can start using the little tasks area below here in Artful Agenda. So that is one thing to consider. Now, the key strengths of this. I've been looking for a long time, and I've had many people ask me, could I take the top planner layout and turn it into true software? And I've just said, no, that's not really what we're doing with the business right now. And I've been looking for an option for this. So I will say, I feel like Artful Agenda is a fantastic solution, especially for people using my top time management system. This is a great digital true software planning tool for you. Now, some of the weaknesses of the planner. For me, really, it's just the month at a view. So I tend to have a lot of things booked on my Google Calendar that my month at a view, even on my Google Calendar, is way too messy for me to really see what I need to see, because I have so much time blocked off to prevent people from scheduling with me every meeting, every podcast interview, etc. So even when I was sharing the month at a view, if I had turned on, like synced up my calendar and shown you my month at a view, I can't see that top level mission critical stuff on the month at a view. So, for me with my paper planner, things I choose to write on my monthly view are like the super important stuff that aren't routine. So for instance, every Monday, my daughter has a violin lesson. Every Thursday, I have a cello lesson. I don't need to see that over and over again on my month at a view. I want to be able to look at my month at a view and see very clearly, oh, I'm on travel this week. I want only key specific information to show up on my month at a view. And right now there is not the ability to say, like, pick and choose what you want to show on the monthly view. So if you have a lot of appointments, events, etc., it may be hard for you when you're doing the way I coach and teach monthly planning. Using that month at a view is going to be tricky for sure. So that's one kind of key piece of information I think is missing, and it's why I struggle with. I've never been able to use Google Calendar fully. That month at a view, there may be a certain day of the month where I've got 10 things on that day on my calendar. Well, they won't all show because it runs out of room in that little grid. Now, I don't think that this is a weakness, but it might prevent others from wanting to do it. Again, you do have to have either an Apple or Google account. This is software. You are saving data in the cloud. So it is absolutely expected that you need to have an account out there that is storing your data. All right. So please know that that's there. Again, I don't think that this is a weakness, but I know that there are some people that very much do not want to have their data stored. Well, then you're going to need to use a paper planner or an editable PDF. All right. The other piece that I've been playing around with, again, it's not so much a weakness, it's just if you're currently using Google Calendar to the extreme, you might find this a little tricky. So I very much teach color coding. There's lots of right flavors and lots of right ways to do it. I have different hats of my life, different colors. Now I can go in like on my Google Calendar and I have one main Google Calendar for myself. But I can go in and change the color of different appointments that are all residing under one calendar. Now, when that syncs with Artful Agenda, the color coding does not sync back and forth. If I color code on Artful Agenda, the colors don't translate to Google. If I color code on Google, they don't translate back. So anytime you're syncing up your calendars, you're going to lose that. Now, there is a workaround, but for me in my life, it's very heavy. And that is to create a different underlying calendar for every color that you're going to want. Again, showstopper, no, but if you really want to lean into color coding and you want to have lots of different colors, that might be frustrating for you to have to create. Maybe you want a color for each member of your family. Maybe you have 6 different colors that you want. If you want the colors to be syncing up appropriately, each one of those needs to be its underlying own Google Calendar. So I just think that's important to note, but again, not a deal breaker there. So my final recommendation, again, I've already said this before, I think this is an amazing solution for anybody that is looking for software to manage their calendar, but they want to have it feel pretty and fun and feel like a paper planner. Now, I'm still at a stage of my life where I am using my paper planner because I am so mobile and on the go. I am kind of doing things in sync. I've been able to do full weekly planning sessions on Artful Agenda, and it works so that I know if I get to a stage of life again where I no longer need a paper planner, where my lifestyle supports a fully digital one, this will be my go-to for sure. So I would highly encourage anyone to check it out. Another great feature, again, click on the link below to go ahead and do this, is you can get a free trial. So you can go ahead, sign up, get a free trial of it. And then if you want to upgrade, it's an annual subscription, and their current price at the time I am making this video is $37 a year, which is a steal. It's an absolute steal to get a full 12-month piece of software like this that does all that it does for only $37. So for those of you looking for real software, go check out Artful Agenda. I've got the link below for you to easily go grab that, get your account created. And I'll be interested to hear if any of you are now switching from paper to fully digital because of Artful Agenda. All right, have a great one, everybody.